Hey everyone, it's Susan Pierce Thompson and welcome to the weekly vlog. So I have a friend who sends me little memes sometimes, these little, pictures with some writing on it and some kind of saying. And I just get these text messages every now and then. And a few days ago, I got this text and the picture said, "I've never met a strong person with an easy past." And it hit me like a ton of bricks. I love that. I've never met a strong person with an easy past. And that happened to overlap with a big challenge that my daughter Alexis is going through. She's 10 years old, about to be 11. And she's just been kind of not doing great lately. They're just kind of heartbroken. And, I'm cuddling with her every night because physical touch is her primary love language. And we just talk and talk, and I shared that saying with her. I've never met a strong person with an easy past. It took her a second to get what that meant, but then she explained it to me. She's like, oh, like when you go through hard things in life and then you're stronger. I'm like, yeah, totally. And we started talking about this challenge she's going through, and I ended up sharing with her the notion that there's pros and cons to everything, that she was looking at this thing that had happened as like a bad thing. And I was like, well, there's a flip side to that coin, right? There's a good part about it too. And she became fascinated with that notion that there's pros and cons to everything. And for the next few days, she started grilling me like, hey, Mom, what's the pro to swearing? Hey, Mom, what's the pro to getting hypothermia? She just started, and then I'd be like, Alexis, what's the pro to having all your stuff burned down in a house fire? And she's like, I bet you realize you don't need that much stuff. I'm like, exactly. So it was just a really sweet mother-daughter moment. And for me, the beauty of it was I started to feel like my gifts as a mother are starting to become useful, right? I've been kind of waiting for this day when we can actually talk about real stuff. And talking deep about life is like my favorite thing to do. I voluntarily come on here every week just to share thoughts on life. So, there's another way to say it. I've never met a strong person with an easy past. I also like the saying, storms make us stronger, just because it's pithy and I love alliteration, and storms make us stronger. And, for me, I have to say that I think that's my number one credential for doing what I do in Bright Line Eating. I mean, yes, I have the academic credentials, but really it's the storms I've been through with food. Not one storm. 10,000 storms, big storms, little storms, storms I weathered valiantly, storms that practically killed me. All these storms that I've been through with addictions of various kinds and with food in particular, they're what qualify me to talk to you about this stuff. If I hadn't been through those storms with food, I wouldn't, the book learning doesn't do it on its own. So for you in your Bright Line Eating journey, I just want to invite you to reflect, maybe Bright Line Eating right now is feeling easy for you. But if so, I bet that's because you can look back in your past and point to all the storms that you weathered, all the storms that have made you stronger. And, the fact is, I never met a strong person with an easy past. I never met a solid BLEer with an easy food past. Like, the only way you get solid in this is by having suffered in your past with food, with weight. It's that kind of, it's like a meat tenderizer that makes you pliable and willing so that when the information comes your way about the addictiveness of sugar and flour and the necessity for some people of weighing and measuring quantities and the benefits of 3 meals a day, all of a sudden it makes so much sense. Like, that's why food never worked before, is because without those boundaries, the brain just couldn't get on board. So if you're struggling now with your Bright Line Eating journey, the good news is that that pain goes to a lot of use. It makes you stronger. And it's the prerequisite for peace. Maybe not peace that you have today, but peace that's coming around the corner. There is no way to get that peace without suffering. first a bit. So much hope. The storms make us stronger. There's never been someone tootling along in Bright Line Eating that doesn't have a difficult past with food. So, I love you, and I'll see you next week.